Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with some more Rome 2 action for you today, and we are checking out the New World mod once again, as it has had an update and there is a new faction that is now available to play with this mod. It is now the Veneti, which obviously, if you know like the Rome 2 campaign, are kind of like in northern Italy. They're like that. They're one of the northern Italian Celtic factions. This is now available to play with the New World mod, which you can get on the Steam Workshop. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. If you're new to the New World mod, it's kind of like a well, the modders basically come up with an idea. Basically, this is like have loads of different like civilizations, basically, all in one like place. So you got like the Amazons, you got Atlantis, you've got Persia, you've got all sorts of like really cool like factions all like merged together on one map. And we now have the Veneti, which is kind of like an Italian Celtic sort of like mishmash together. So we'll quickly go over some of the units as we'll stick it in slow-mo so we can have a good look at them. So we'll start at the front, I guess, with these Veneti ambushers here, which are like a Javi unit. This isn't all the units I have just I'm showing like what I used in this like quick battle I just did. So we have these Veneti ambushers here, which are like a Javi unit, which look really cool. They're quite obviously can stay hidden for quite a long time, as it says in the name. They like appeared just at the last moment, so like that's like an ability that like Veneti will definitely be taking advantage of, having very light, very nimble units that can hide very easily. Obviously, we're not going to be able to hide today on this just plain desert map, but yeah, they could in like in a forest in somewhere in Italy possibly. Then we have these Veneti hunters, again able to probably hide very well. They're light bows. A lot of their stuff is quite light. Some of their infantry is very heavy, but they have a lot of light stuff, and that's kind of like I feel like how they're going to be played is just a very light and nimble faction that's going to be very good for ambushing and for maybe sally outs if you're in a siege possibly. Then we have these naked spears here, which look very nice. Again, you do see like naked swords quite often, but naked spears, I presume they're like probably pretty good. They probably fight like pretty much to the death. I don't know exactly, or they certainly are very good for flanking. I can imagine like probably a very good shock unit maybe. And then we have what else do we have? We have in the front line we have these Italo-Celtic swordsmen here, which are a like obviously shows in the name like how like the Veneti faction is going to be set up. It's going to be like a Celtic and like Italian hybrid sort of unit. So a very light unit. They've got like just as like a simple swords tunic, a big shield. So they've probably not got much missile block. But it's something that you can certainly throw in first in like a siege, for instance. Throw in first in the first wave, maybe soften up the defenses. Then over on this side we have some Veneti axemen. These probably again a very good shock unit to have. Again, very similarly armored to the Italo-Celtic swords. Just got a tunic and a shield and a helmet. But they have an axe instead of a sword. And so these guys again could be used to like soften up the enemy first, or they could be a very good flanking unit with axes in like Rome 2, very good for flanking. And then I believe these are the next. This is like the second most elite sword unit that is available. These Veneti longsword warriors. These guys are pretty damn nice. They look really good. A lot more armor, as you can see, compared to the previous few units that we've had a look at. Looking a little bit more well armored. They will be probably what you'd like send in like in your second wave, perhaps in a siege, or you'd like maybe spam like a load of these guys out. They got like they're very similar, like I think in like stats, and they have like the same unit card at the moment as the some of the Amazonian units. So I feel like that'd be like a sort of like their mid-tier Amazonians is like what this is like comparable for. I might be wrong, but they are certainly a very good unit. And then we have the most elite sword unit here available to the Veneti, which is the Veneti Noble Swordsman. And these guys look very nice. They remind me a bit of like the Rise of the Republic sort of Roman look with like some of their helmets. But they look really cool. And they've got like breastplates and stuff like that. They're very well armored. And I just like them. I think they look really good. It's a really cool faction in Veneti. Again, adds like a little bit more like flavor to the mod. It's another like faction you can play and try out. And yeah, I think they look awesome. These guys really do look awesome. So yeah, they will again. They're not like they're still armored, but they're not like massively over armored. So it like still feels like it's gonna be a very like light faction that you're gonna be playing against. We then have the cavalry, which is probably like some of their cavalry is nasty in this game. Certainly it wasn't this battle I quickly did. We've got the Veneti heavy cavalry on this side, similarly well armored to like the heavy swords that we saw earlier. They're looking pretty good with like their spears there. And then on the far side, the general and like this other unit here are called the Venetai Eucapetaris. I may have pronounced that wrong. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. They're like the very heavy melee cavalry here. But these guys seriously do look awesome. As we have a floating person here, they need to sort that out. That's the only little bug I saw. We have a floating banner carrier there. But they do look really, really cool. And the other unit that I have seen, like, I don't know whether that was added ages ago or what. But they have these Caucasian, not Caucasian, Corsican Legionnaires now. We now have Corsican Legionnaires, which is kind of cool. I do like to see, like, different variants of legionaries, like, just dotted around. It's really cool. You have, like, the Galatian ones, and there's another one I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. There's Amazonian Legionnaires as well. Now we have Corsican Legionaries as well. Looks awesome. They really, really do. So I've gave them, like, Pontus a load of these guys, and it kind of gives Pontus another, like, really strong sword, you know, which they kind of lacked before. They, like, their best swords before, like, the Pontic swords, which I don't know if I actually gave them any of them. I just gave them a lot of legionaries in this game. But yeah, so I'm just playing against the AI. I'm not really playing anything like anyone amazing. The AI is pretty dumb in Rome too, if you can play it right. But this is still a pretty fun battle just to watch. As the skirmish phase starts now, you can see the Eastern Archers here in the front line, starting to shoot it out and just duel with my Venetai Hunters here. And it'll be the same on this side when Peltasts face Peltasts. But yeah, they're sending forward their cavalry as the AI. They send forward their Pontic heavy, like Royal Cavalry here. And I thought they were going to go for my my archers, but they decided just to carry on, go beyond, and go for my my Italo-Celtic swords here. Just charge these poor light melee here. So I decided to just get a few jabbies off into their flank. This will do a little bit of damage. And here we go, Pontic Cav going in, knocking down these light swords like they mean nothing. And then my general's now engaging. He's combat even against these guys. And I was kind of fine with this. These guys were getting jabbied in the back, these Royal Cavalry. I sent in some long swords to help that formation, and then you can see here my other Venetai, like heavy cavalry, getting in behind, surrounding these guys well and true. So I just rear charged them, and yeah, they're already losing decisively. So I really should tell them to stop firing, because yeah, they need to start firing elsewhere, because they're getting jabbed to pieces by those Pontic Peltasts. My archers start to fire forward. I think they're shooting at the general here. I'm not really sure. They're just getting a bit too close to my for comfort. My cavalry actually did do a charge on this side to try and scare off their archers, and as you can see, I put their formation to disarray with just like 2 cavalry charges, which weren't that successful. They just kind of scared the AI. But yeah, well, definitely it'll be interesting to see how the Venetai do against, I'd say, much more heavily armored Pontus faction. I know like New World and like Vanilla, I don't know how well like they are balanced. I mean, I've seen some Vanilla factions do okay against them, but some others maybe not. I mean, they've got Mixed Hellene here. These Mixed Hellene are another New World unit, but they've been in a little while. But yeah, they should do okay against these New World units, or at least I'd hope they do. Over here, what we got Anatolian Spears, another like New World unit. They are typical of Troy. Troy, you see these guys, and Lydia. But it looks like also Pontus decided to be given them, and they're actually losing. These Naked Spears, I mean, the Naked Spears cleaning these guys up. These Bronze Shield Phalangites now coming in. They look like they're in loose formation. They don't look like they're in a phalanx formation. Like, that looks very sparse. But yeah, I'm going to probably just like keep an eye on like what's going on elsewhere. Like you can see, I just sent in my Venetai longswords. It was a bit of a suicide charge. I don't know why I did that. Such a waste of a good unit. But yeah, my Italo-Celtics now holding the line here with my ambushes, which are out of ammo. And they're now facing down these Caucasian legionaries. Don't think they're going to do too well there. Legionaries against very light swords and ambushes. Over on this side, I'm now actually putting down some Mixed Hellene hoplites, surrounding these guys pretty well. I'm just going to slow-mo so you can kind of see what's going on. Surrounding these guys, getting some noble swords up to support. Marines here. This is another cool unit that like Pontus have. I think some others probably have it as well. But yeah, a Marine unit added in the New World mod. It's just so good that they add like little units like this, just to kind of like fill out some people's rosters. I know that's kind of like their limitation, but it makes a lot of factions that people otherwise wouldn't play playable again or replayed. We've got Mixed Hellene hoplites here. We've got a lot of Pontic stuff here, just getting bunched up and breaking my Naked Spears, which just had enough. They've been speared too much on these pikes, and they're out of there. It looks like my Peltas is rather going to combat as well, actually. But yeah, here we go. Just go back to normal speed now for a bit. My cavalry goes in, charges these archers. They're actually going into combat anyway. This cavalry looks really, really cool. It just kind of like with the red cloaks at a distance, it kind of looks like Roman cav. Especially with the helmets, with like their red plumes. I do like the look. I really, really do. And yeah, at this point, I'm just like rear charging these mixed Hellene hoplites. They're sending in more Marines. They decide that that's the decision. Caucasian Legion. Why do I keep calling them Caucasian? It's Corsican. I do apologize. Clearly, my brain is not with it. But there you go. I'm now also sending like through a tiny, well, a fresh unit of Venetai long noble swords here. Just gonna go in between the lines. I mean, it looks like he's got stuck on a couple of legionaries here. Look at that poor guy just getting murdered. They need to get actually in behind. That was the idea. Get behind this line. My general here is actually just sniping out their general. I think he's now dead. Yep. Pontic's general is now dead. I think I was shooting him with archers first, and I sent my general out to go and finish him off. So yeah, their morale will start to hurt. AI just doesn't protect its general in this game. I've just decided. But yeah, I'm getting like impaled on pikes. I don't have an answer to it. Venice, I do not have any pike units or anything like that. And yeah, so I'm just kind of just standing and looking and just at these pikes. I should have really pulled my men back, but I was kind of more busy with the archers and the cavalry. I was trying to get good shots with my with those. My cavalry again foolishly charged into these pikes. They like hadn't quite formed up, but then they turned around and just put their pikes down. I forget that it's not like Attila, where like if you charge a unit when it's like not formed up, it won't put its pikes down properly. And it's pretty much dead. Like Rome 2, if you charge a unit with pikes, that's all well and good, but then you need to fall back. Again, I'm literally about to do it here again. They like haven't set up, but they'll put their pikes down now, and that'll kill my cav. Which is kind of a bit silly, because you'd be like cav inside the formation. That would be like havoc to those phalangites. I'm actually losing at this point, I felt I was losing, even though I killed a general. These legionaries here are doing a lot of damage. I'm actually charging this unit head on now. Got a pretty decent charge there. I mean, most of them will probably get up. This cav is pretty good, but it's melee cav, so it's actually like not great on the charge. General is dead though. It's losing decisively, so maybe there was a pretty good charge. I'm now actually just finished the fight here in the center. I'm now moving over to like left of center, facing these phalangites now, which are slowly getting surrounded by my Roman-looking Venetai noble swords. And yeah, here we go. Starting to rout a few things. Legionaries here breaking at 47 men. They're pretty good. I won't lie. Pontus is like got a nice unit here. Armenia also has it, I saw. So again, Armenia, Pontus probably both lacking on the sword front. Now have good swords to use. I mean, they're not expensive like 700. So like they're a really good unit. Like for the price wise, so for attack or defense. There you go. A costly victory for the Venetai. Certainly was. My armor was certainly just not good enough, like to face Pontus, but we did enough in the end. The cavalry, like killing a general off and breaking them through morale, was really, really good. I certainly think these noble swords, as you can see, they got like a lot of kills and not many losses. Are like the strength. I think these long swords are probably okay as well. I just kind of threw them onto pikes and did not really look after them too well. But yeah, I think Venetai's a solid faction. Got a solid like turnout here with it. I was pretty impressed with it. Even its light units did okay. They broke the first few waves of like stuff, like the Anatolian spears and stuff like that, which I was happy with. But yeah, like so kills, like my general got 93 kills. These Venetai heavy cav got 61. The archers, the Jabbies did okay, 52. Archers getting 88. But they're not like amazing archers. That's something that they're weak in, is range. I'd say with Venetai, they are weak in range. They don't have like really good Jabbies or archers. But they got pretty good infantry and cav, so that's certainly their strength. And I'm glad that like that's what New World's keeping. There are still strengths and weaknesses for every faction. Like you need to have that, otherwise, like if everyone's evenly matched, then what's the fun of that? These naked spears are getting 60 kills. These axemen got like 76 kills. These longswords actually did worse, but again, like I said, I kind of was a bit suicidal with them. And then my Venetai noble swords getting 147, 165 kills, so pretty good there. I don't think Pontus did okay. He's like legionaries over here. The AI did okay with him, 92 kills. The pikes did very well, but I was just throwing men onto the pikes to keep them in place. which is probably a bit foolish. But there you go. Guys, if you enjoyed watching this, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a comment as well to show your support. It's certainly nice to see New World getting more updates. It's certainly one of the more regularly updated mods at the moment on the workshop. If you haven't, I'll also leave a link to their Discord if you want to join. It'll be in the description of this video if you want to go and join, and then you have like regular updates and news and what's going on with the mod. The main like modder is a really nice guy, and he's always like happy to help with like if there's bugs or like you've got like questions about the mod. He's always happy to answer your queries. So yeah, that is where I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.